Okay, so this is the first trip on the KTM. I just picked this up at the end of December. Haven't rode it yet. It was snowing and icing the first day I got it. I didn't feel that comfortable riding it, so here we are. First day, get her fired up here. Wait for the TFT screen to come up here. And then all you do. Oh, sounds good. Let it warm up here for a couple minutes. No, again, first time. I'm gonna go to the dealership, pick up my plates. It's been sitting in my living room since I got it because it's been cold here in Maryland. And again, haven't even broken in. Tires still brand new on the TK80s. Still got the nubs on them. Take it for a ride here. Go over in my parking lot, do a couple figure eights, trying to get them washed in a little bit. The only thing I've done so far is put some heated grips on it, which I see the heated grips. I was messing with it the other day, and the heated grips come on their own. So new, got a little smoke coming off the exhaust there that burns in. Ooh. Feels good. Oh, a little icy. Oh, I love this TFT. I thought it would be kind of hard to read at first. I actually haven't been on a motorcycle in 4 years. I had a Ducati S2R 1000. I sold that in 2013, and I have not been. No, I sold it in 2014. I haven't been on a bike since. Try not to want to lug it because it is still breaking in. Try to keep the revs up a little bit. Shift the gears. It is only 15 through here though, so I probably should slow down a little bit. But oh, it's a beautiful day. It's about well, it's according to the temperature gauge in the instrument cluster there, it says it's 59 degrees. Again, brand new bike, 0 miles. Probably see the first mile click over here. Oh, it's super intrusive, or super easy to ride. Feels good. Should have brought some sunglasses. First time really doing any vlog or motor blogging on a bike. Don't unlug it too much. Trying to develop that cylinder pressure in there. Ooh, MP's over there. I guess they're not on furlough today. Start scrubbing in the tires a little bit. Ooh, still feel a little slippery. I've never actually rode on TK80s before. This is my first big adventure bike. I've owned several dual sport bikes. I owned a XT350, XT600, various years and models from like 84 was my oldest one I owned. Man, that thing was a piece. Clunky, big, and it left me stranded 1 or 2 times. That was my fault though. I did rebuild it. And I may have had some younger days. Whew, get these mirrors adjusted so I can actually see something. Just doing a little upshifting. Oh, they made it 25. This road used to be 45. They cut it down to 25 because of that construction back there. See, even though it's a government furlough day, Government Shutdown MP still out strong. Oh, well, road's closed over there. That's interesting. Oh, so much power. 1300 cc's on this 2017 KTM 1290 Adventure R. Oh, I was super excited to buy it. I got a great deal. I was so happy. Sadly, I had to finance it, but it's currently the only thing I'm financing. But the dealership was able to give me a pretty good rate. Yeah, 1.99% interest. So over the life of the bike, I'll only end up paying about 800 bucks. Now, the bank that I went with, that's a whole nother video talking about bank rates and whatnot. Like, little trying to scrub in these new TK80s a little bit. Do some figure eights here. Oh man, this thing is super stable. I could turn on a dime in this freaking thing. Man, again, I haven't been on a bike. Whew. And 4 or 5 years. Last one was that Ducati S2R 1000. Should have brought some cones to set up. Do a little counter lean and see how far I can get over. Pretty good though. Really impressed with the handling of this bike. And okay, should be good. I do want to do a quick stop. Oh, ABS kicking in. First time on an ABS bike as well. Like I said, my last bike was a S2R 1000 and it had no creature comforts. The fueling was horrible on it. I had turbo exhaust on it. Race ECU. That thing was horrible. It was quick. Another quick stop. Give him a, oh, that was in second gear. My bad. Didn't even downshift. Oops. Okay, let's get her out in the road here. Oh, MP's already at work. Obviously not a government furlough day. Last night the government shut down. If you don't know, I'm in the military, so I will be going back to work tomorrow. No furlough day for me. No furlough day indeed. Hopefully the Congress gets their act together and figures out what to do. You may notice I'm shifting gears a lot. I'm just trying to get the transmission broken in. I don't want to cruise around in one gear too much. Vary the RPM. Try to get these rings set again. No miles. No miles on this bike. Probably drive her for about 5 or 6 miles here and then stop somewhere. Stop at a Starbucks on the way. Going to the dealership to get my hard plates today. Oh, it's a beautiful day though. 55 degrees outside according to the old monitor on the TFT. Super powerful, loads of power on this bike. 160 horsepower, I believe, like just south of 100 foot-pounds of torque on this thing. I think that's at the flywheel though. That can't be at the wheels. But can't be that much parasitic loss in the drivetrain. Oh man, I really wish I'd fix this light instead of making it a four-way stop. It's been this way for 2 years now. It's perfectly functional. I don't know why we wouldn't just put it on there. Oh, yep, got 2 miles on it now. 2 miles. Trip was reset to 0 from the factory, and I have not went in there and adjusted it. This TFT display has a lot of customizable features. Let this Dodge go here first. You can set the... Ooh, did I mention I don't like riding in Maryland? Oh, but back to the TFT display, this beautiful 8-inch screen on here. I was a little skeptical at first, you know. Hadn't ridden anything with a TFT display on it. Especially on an adventure bike. This thing's supposed to go anywhere, you know. Be interesting to see how it holds up over the life of the bike. Sadly, KTM only offers a 12-month warranty on it. I think, I don't even know how many miles. 12-month warranty, and that might only be on the powertrain, so try not to lug it here. Stay in the power, 3rd gear. Doesn't even, when I say lug, I don't, like there's no lugging with this bike, it's just lower RPM. Just keeps chugging along. Again, great motorcycle. Beautiful day, lots of people out. Again, government shutdown last night. Congress, the Democrats can't agree to nothing. That's sad. And sadly, my family will directly be affected because of this. Luckily, I have enough to cover, you know, 1 or 2 months without pay, but, you know, I've been in the military for 12 years now. Well, no, 13 years. And I've seen this happen 2 other times. Back in 2013 was the most recent. Definitely affected me. I was actually at a school and they ended up sending me back from that school because it's kind of hard to find neutral on this. Is that neutral? Oh, yeah. So I bought this back in December 30th from Ellicott City Motorsports. Kale helped me out there. Shout out Kale if anyone is in the area. The Maryland, Virginia, Delaware area. Probably one of the better KTM dealerships. I paid a little bit more than I wanted to, but I was really after that finance rate. I wish I had cash to purchase this bike. Oh, stalled her out there. Oh, I'll shut her down. No! Be interesting to see how quick this starts back up. Now this is a new thing too. Like I don't know if you guys are familiar with these KTMs. So there is no key mount. You see down there, no key. It comes with the ready to race key, and it is proximity key. Yeah. Still transmission's a little new, so still breaking in, kind of hard to find neutral. But the proximity key, super convenient, don't have to pull it out, but it does have to be within 4 to 5 feet of the bike to actually start it. And you have your kill switch over there on the right side. And to actually start it, you hold down the bottom of the kill switch, even though that to turn it on, to turn it into the accessory position, you got to hit that ready to race button down there. KTM calls it, formerly known as a starter button on most every other bike you'll find out there. Controls are super easy to access though. I think I got to adjust my handlebars a little bit. I notice the clutch is a little higher than I like. It's got a hydraulic clutch on there. The only thing I have recently to compare it to is that my Monster, and it had a hydraulic clutch too, but it was a bear. It was a bear. Had a dry clutch on it as well, so. I haven't actually left 3rd gear yet, so it'd be nice to get out here a little bit and open it up. I don't want to lug it down. I want to keep the RPM up. Should try to build that cylinder pressure so those rings are cut in. A good break-in period. Now that's a whole nother debate. People talking about a hard break-in or a soft break-in. I'm a firm believer in a little bit of a hard break-in, but you shouldn't be out there ripping on it. A lot of race bikes, you know, they come right out of the factory crate and right onto the dyno and get burnt in, giving max pull runs after a quick warm-up. That's good for a race bike, you know. You're going to rebuild it every 500 laps. But on this KTM, I kind of want to not have to rebuild it ever. It's got an incredible service interval. The manual calls out, I think it's right at 7,000 miles, 1,400 kilometers or something like that for the first, for your service interval. And valve clearance isn't even checked until out there at above. I'm not going to bullshit. I'll put the numbers up on the screen. I'll put a little excerpt to the manual, which isn't currently available on KTM's website, I noticed. So, again, this is my first motovlog, so I'm not super familiar. I'm kind of disorganized. I know you guys are probably following along here. Like, oh, what's this guy talking about? Blah, blah, blah. No. Yeah, oh well. I'm just out here to ride and have a good time. To talk a little bit. Yep, gate is definitely closed. Government shutdown at its finest. Why are my high beams on? Flick the high beam switch there. Oh, finally got up to fourth. This long 50 miles an hour right here. Try not to lug it. Try to keep it below $6,000 too. Yes, classic distracted Maryland drivers. Not a care in the world, huh? And this thing has amazing mirrors on it. We're very good. Super happy with the viewing angle. And we're gonna go hop on the Parkway here, 295 north. Should have probably picked a more back roads method to get up here. But probably on a Saturday, it's probably gonna be fairly congested. You see there's a lot of traffic out. It's a beautiful day. Still 55 degrees. Tell you what, out of all those government workers that are furloughed for today, security forces aren't. You saw back there when I was doing my little figure eights, the MPs were out. I guess gotta collect them tickets. Try not to lug it, keep her right around 4,000 RPM. Try to keep it under $6,000. Now this thing has a red line of 10,000, but it's actually limited during the first 600 miles. I don't believe it'll rev over 6,500. That's done by the factory there. I don't even think I can go in there and change it. Oh, highway cruising is great on this thing though. 5th gear, pop her up into 6th, $4,000, almost 77 miles an hour, cruising along here. Yeah, and now the first service interval for this bike is really short. It's 600 miles. So, with my upcoming work schedule, I probably won't get that on it for a little bit. I'm trying to put at least 50 to 60 miles on it this week. But it's still really cold. I think it's supposed to cool down again next week. Hop on 100 east here, or I'm sorry, no, we're going west. Super quiet too. I really want to get an Akrapovic exhaust for this thing. City. Smell some stuff burning off the exhaust there a little bit. Some of the factory coating off there to keep the rust out. Ooh. Downshifted there, took her up over 65. You saw it went red. That's fine. Still making sure I keep that cylinder pressure up. Try not to over rev it. Man, it turns so nice for having such a high seat height, or I'm sorry, not seat height, but such a tall suspension. It just leans into the curve smooth, doesn't drop in a lot of place. See if I can get over here. Oh, thank you, Maryland driver, for not saying "fuck you, motorcycle." Oh, excuse me, probably gotta edit that out here. See, one of the complaints I have seen a lot online, I did a little research before I purchased this. A lot of complaints I saw is the TFT display is quick to shift between day and night mode. And night mode has got this white background, or in day mode it's got this white background, but we'll test it out going under this overpass over here. See how it does. You'll actually see it shift probably to dark. Yep, it's shifted to black just in the shadows, and then it's a little slow to shift back to the white. The dark background isn't hard to read though. It'll be interesting to see how it dims at night. It's supposed to be automatic. There is a setting in the menu for it. I don't think to turn off the automatic switch though. 10 miles in, a little bit of variation on the highway, trying to shift, not keep it in the same gear a lot. Moving along. Getting a little feedback through the wheel there. A little wind buffering. I haven't messed with the windscreen on it. Adjustable there with those knobs. I have it on the highest position right now. Not super bad though. Mess with it, see what we got. This guy's probably gonna want to override him when he's going to 95. Oh, guess not. Super powerful. And it just pulls for days. To the races too hard here. And just trying to build that cylinder pressure, letting off. Oh man, I even forget what exit I'm getting off at. I guess I'm getting off at Ellicott City though. Let's talk about the turn signals. So the turn signals, supposedly they'll turn off within 15 seconds when you're moving, or 100 meters. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But it only turns off after 100 meters of travel, which is great. I know. Whenever you start getting moving, sometimes you don't look down at your dash and don't flick them off. It's supposed to automatically cancel out. gotta adjust this windscreen. I don't know what the optimal setting is. I'm pretty tall, so I'm 6'4", so I may have to get a little bit larger windscreen on it. That's just something I gotta mess with. Might just be natural too. I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been on a bike in 4 or 5 years. First ride of the KTM. I've already put some heated grips on here because I really wanted to start riding in the winter here. Especially when you got a new bike sitting at home. But yeah. I'll have to focus on school though. I won't be able to take my bike just because of the location. Again, trying not to lug it, keeping the RPM varied. Oh, there's that TFT display again. Which I can see how that becomes annoying. Yeah, I don't know about that. But it's not that big of a distraction. Just looking down. Oh, let's talk about the quick settings menu on there, on the TFT screen. So I can shift between my ride modes. Right now I got it in street mode. And it does a couple things in street mode. Can change it, go back, and that's if I push up. If I push down, it brings me up to my 111 meter where I can reset it. Over here, going to historic Ellicott City. They've actually come back from where they were. They some major flooding about a year and a half ago took out their downtown. Went up there about 6 months after the flooding, and there was still a lot of empty storefronts, but they came along. Oh, it feels super good in the corners. I'm used to that wind buffering. Bike though is rock stable. It's just blowing me around sitting on top of it. Bike is rock stable though. It's got a steering dampener down there, non-adjustable sadly. I know I've seen a lot of people on the forums talking about putting heavier oil in it. See how that works out. I want a decent balance between street and off-road. Now, am I going on any major adventures anytime soon? Probably not. Sadly, probably not. I will not be taking any adventures, but I want to take her through the paces, take her back home, get on some dirt roads, fire trails. out there and start getting it. Trash. Where am I going? I think I'm going west, right? Yeah, we'll just cruise around here. Hands cramping up a little bit. Hasn't been around a twist throttle in a while. But yeah, a lot of people complain about the heat on these things. It definitely puts out a little bit of heat. Might end up getting those heat deflectors. I'm not going to venture out there yet. Okay, I guess it's my turn. Well, I'm going to cut it off here for now. Not a lot going on. Okay, back out here. Almost to the dealership. Come on, it's down here. And I'm going there to pick up my hard plates today. Seat feels good. Saddle nice and comfortable. Too bad it didn't come with a heated one. It's a $400 option. I'm debating on whether to go between the split seat or the straight single piece unit. Oh, beautiful day. I didn't know there was a Home Depot over here. Huh. Kind of disconcerting. No neutral indicator on the dash. It says the gear, but not when I'm in neutral. There's something I got to get used to. But oh, let's talk about what's on the main display. So all these features are actually customizable down here. If you can see that. You can set the trip. Oh, you can't set the order, sadly. Got US miles per gallon, running about 30 right now. Odometer, 19 miles on this bike. 19 miles. Thought it was really cool. It had the tire pressure. Oh, might need to look at that. 32 and 40. That's a little high there. Might want to crank those down. I usually run about 32 in the front and about 33 in the back. Definitely crank that rear tire down there. Found out what a lug is yet for this bike. I don't. It just takes everything and eats it up. I've definitely not been disappointed at all with this bike. Super comfortable, super powerful, very nimble and agile. Well, I guess there is one thing I'm kind of upset at. So this TFD display, I don't know if you can see it down there. Has right beside the ready to race key. It also has a little Bluetooth symbol that you gotta pay for. It's not just by default. You gotta shell out extra. Like, I think the dealer wanted $400 for the features. I don't know. We'll talk about it today with them. See what they actually want for that. But they don't actually do any work to the bike. They put in a code and then slap a sticker on the back. So you're saying I buy something, but I gotta pay for the service. I guess that is the new business model. Pay for services.